How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great Basketball Wives Season 9 Episode 2 review. And this episode, let me tell you something. The people who are on this, who are watching my reviews, let me be abundantly clear. If you are an Evelyn fan or a Kristen fan or a Freebie fan or a Shawnee fan, Nostril fan, you might not want to listen to what I have to say in this review because I'm cussing every last one of them out when it is necessary. You understand what I'm saying? Because I feel like season 9 is a shit show. Y'all are in episode 2 and you guys are playing with my emotions and I don't appreciate it because y'all done brought back messy ass snake ass Kristen. And I'm gonna tell you why I think she's a snake, because I said in my previous reviews, if y'all want to go catch up to the reviews I did before, Kristen is a snake. She maneuvers like a snake. She behaves like a snake. She had no business she had no qualms throwing Cece under the bus, and Cece was actually supposed to be her family member. Now, it's one thing for Evelyn to go after Cece, but Kristen had no issues letting Evelyn bully Cece, knowing that Cece's about to marry her husband's father. Okay, she had no problems with that, and she was like, bye bitch, bye girl, and watched Evelyn run down the track trying to hit her ass with a bamboo stick and was gonna allow that to happen. And you're supposed to be family. Now, family can have beef, but you're supposed to be having back of your head that you're gonna fix the beef later on. So for me, she's a damn snake. Now, they also brought back stank breath, 40 ounces of bounce that ass, Jennifer, back on the show. Now, I'm calling her that because it seems like somehow in the season, Evelyn, Jennifer and OG are not fucking with each other anymore, because right now in this episode they seem to be cool, but later on they're not gonna be fucking with each other. So Jennifer and apparently Evelyn is not jumping on the bandwagon for Jennifer, who she tried to hop over a table to hit, who she called your friend is a buster, all that stuff that she did. Now all of a sudden she's now piggybacking off of the comments that Jennifer and OG are saying to each other. Jennifer and OG has been shown online on Twitter to be going after each other. I'm gonna read y'all what some of the stuff that they said. So Jennifer is talking about how production had to pay $30,000 to rent a house for Kwame and OG because they're not gonna film in their own personal house. Bitch, I'm not gonna film in my personal house either, because some of y'all are crazy. Y'all seen what happened with the Capitol building? People take their feelings too seriously, and if they finish show up at my house, I'm not gonna show where I live, because in my mind I'm thinking, before you show up at my house, make sure that you have God on your knees and got right with God and Most High. Because if you show up in my house, you better be prepared to go meet him. You're not going to show up in my house and do something crazy. But OG smart in my eyes. If she got production to pay for a house to rent for her to film and pay her contract money, girl, she's smart as hell. And it seems like Jen is salty about that, because Jen has something to say about, you're faking a house. This is all a show. Everything here is staged. The mansion was paid for by production. Everything is staged because of a show. So Jen, I don't know what point you're trying to make for real. Like, it don't make any sense. You're saying something stupid now because it seems like you're Team Evelyn. And on top of that, OG has spared us no receipts. OG went and posted a text message online that I think Jennifer had sent her a while ago. OG said, see, I'm trying to chill, but this tired ass brown noser wants it, so let's talk facts. The girl is mad because what is in the budget for me is not in the budget for you. Remember, you were fired and came back groveling in season 7 when Evelyn tried to get your ass off the show and not even get a contract in the first place. Do you really want to talk about it? She's like, hashtag rhetorical. She said, beggars can't be choosers. And then she posted a text message that seemed to have come from Jennifer. What it said was from Jennifer. So these motherfuckers are trying to give me $5K, no hair and makeup, coach travel. What do you think I should say or do? I mean, come on. I at least need hair and makeup, and my coach and trying to travel coach to Miami. Like, what the fuck? They're playing games. So production was able to pay for OG, who they know will make the show going this season. They paid for her house. They paid her more money. And your ass, who've been on here for several seasons, got booted off the show because Evelyn tried to beat your ass. They all ganged up on you. They all made you feel like you're stupid for trying to file a lawsuit for a girl who you let in your house, slapping you on national television. They booted you off the show. And then when you got friends with Tammy, you became close with Tammy, and Malaysia had all this shit to say. Then when you tried to get it back on the show, Evelyn didn't want your ass back on the show, and she made sure they didn't even include you in the season. When you did come back, Tammy had your back, and you went and tried to be friends with Evelyn. And when Evelyn decided to take you back, you went and tried to make it seem like Tammy has some steak ass pussy, talking about she got pussy juice on her pants. You seem to want so badly to be up Evelyn's ass. I don't know what's up there. If you bop her in the head, would gold come out her butt cheeks? Because I'm curious as to why you want so bad to be aligned with this girl that you're going after somebody who I'm hearing on the show talk about, I'm excited to be around my girl, Jennifer and Jackie. What is your issue? And I want to know what happened in this season for them to be getting the way that they are. Because Jennifer, I'm starting to look at you sideways, because I feel like I liked your ass thinking that you were able to stand up for yourself until now you're acting a fool. Because Evelyn is also co-signing some of the comments online. One of them said, ain't no way that at Evelyn Lozada is like that when she has dated guys with darker skin. So this whole colorism thing is BS and a reach, clout chasing at the highest, hashtag basketball wives. And then Evelyn responded, it's way bigger than this. Exploiting racism for a fake storyline or a reality show is wrong, bitch. OG came on the show with a storyline, and it had nothing to do with colorism initially until you started disrespecting her in that way. She didn't explore the storyline. This is facts and what you behave. And this person is saying that because you have dated or had sex with black men is a very ignorant individual. You know why I say that? I'm going to toss my life in this situation. My husband, I said before my reviews, he has kids prior to, I don't have any children, okay? But I chose to marry him knowing that he has kids. 3 of his children came from 2 different women. One of them were white, full whites. The other one was white and Hispanic. And what he told me is, he's black. He said, what I experienced with these girls is that they were okay fucking with me. They were okay having sex with me. They were okay making babies with me, but I never saw them actually be able to build a genuine friendship with people of a darker hue. They're comfortable having sex with us. That whole Mandingo mentality from what they way back when, they think is like dating a black guy is like towing the line, and going to be with them is like you're going to be with somebody that's a little dangerous. It's like exciting for you. But when it comes time for you to make friends or treat other African-American females the right way, you're always going to look at them as less than. Evelyn having sex with black men, making kids with black men, doesn't make her any less of having a colorism mindset. Do I think that Evelyn is full out racist? No, I'm not saying that. What I say is, which is why Evelyn is acting like as dumb as she is, responding to this damn comment, is if your go-to in your mind is to go and insult somebody based on the complexion of their skin, you have colorism undertones within yourself. Because when I think about insulting somebody, I don't think about race. But also we know that statistically speaking, black folk are able to recognize colorism and racism a lot faster than majority of races out there, because we have experienced it the most in all across the board, whether it's political, social, economical, media, we have experienced it. So we're able to recognize it a lot faster than people like yourself who may have thought that yourself was better at some point. I can see Evelyn in middle school arguing with somebody, even in high school, and arguing with the dark person, talking about, girl, he don't want you. You're ashy as fuck. You know, you're dark as hell. You ugly. You need to go back to the motherland. You need to go back to Africa. He want all this. I'm mixed. I got my hair. I can see her exhibiting these behaviors because way back then, that's what they showed on TV. Rappers even were rapping, talking about light skin, right skin. I mean, all this is a function of how your mentality has progressed. This should have been a teaching moment for you. So for me, you sitting up here acting like a damn victim, talking about crying. She said that she's gonna go, she had to buy herself another house in a gated community because she's been getting death threats. But you had to buy your house in the gated community because it said 50 plus. That's what that is. So don't even put that on that girl. She enforced you to go and buy another house. You did that because you are reaching senior citizen status and you need a place to accommodate your growth and your bones that are kind of, you know, need a little bit more support. That's what that is. Then they talk about Malaysia. Kristen and Malaysia are now, I guess, hanging out more often because now that CCN fucking with Kristen, she now needs to go and find another family member to latch on to. She chose Malaysia. She brought her cute little baby Kenzie into the house. And it seems like because quarantine is now going on, Kristen and Malaysia have been spending more time with each other. So I said, okay, cool. Kristen decided that because of what Malaysia has experienced with police brutality and them murdering her 17-year-old brother because they thought he was reaching for a gun when he was reaching for a wrench. Now, we know for a fact that a lot of law enforcement officers that are being chosen to be cops in the first place, they choose clean-cut people who have had no experiences outside of some sheltered lifestyle because they think that in their head, these are the people that are going to be not corrupt. Turns out that after a while, they become the most corrupt people. because they're shown this type of environment and this is what they see, and cops don't tell on cops. So you become corrupt because of what you're around. But they try to pick people who they feel like are, clean cut. Because I know I had to take a sheriff exam. I was going to be a sheriff dispatcher initially when I first graduated college. I needed a job. So I went through this 6 hours of a questioning. And the questions they were asking were so random. Have you ever had sex in public? Have you ever smoked weed? Have you ever do this? And I'm looking at them like, I guess I'm a criminal then, because they had a whole bunch of lists of just generic, stupid questions to ask you. So if somebody goes in there and says they've never had sex in public, they've never smoked weed, you're about to have a complete square who has had no experience in this life, don't have any cultural experiences, straight out of high school, no college education. Now put them in an environment where they're going to be dealing with people of color, people who they are not used to being around, who their only metric of judging is what they see in rap music, what they see on TV, the media's portrayal of the type of people that we are. You give these individuals guns and tell them to police this type of neighborhoods. Of course, they're going to act this way, and they don't tell on each other. So they're going to be doing some shiesty shit. That's what that is. So for Malaysia's 17-year-old brother to be as young as he is, reaching for a wrench, instinctively they have this media portrays African-American males as dangerous, as being, more violent, more vicious. I've seen situations to where I'll be walking down the street with a group of my friends and you see somebody just scared walk across the street because they see a bunch of black folk and they immediately feel like we're going, do something to them. I've had one of my former coworkers, the Armenian dude, we went to a Chili's in a predominantly black neighborhood, and he asked me, he's like, are you, but this, he's like, but are you going to be okay? And I was just like, what do you think is going to happen to you? You think that all these black folk are going to come after you and come and do what to you? They're all here to eat just like you. But that's that idea in their head. So you have these type of people with guns trying to police people. Chances are they do stupid shit. And one of the things they did that really hurt my heart is there's an activist that comes in. I forgot her name. But she said that her son was shot 76 times. I'm thinking 76 times. At that point, you're not trying to de-escalate a situation. You're just flat out murdering these people. Like, it's not like they shot at you and you want to disarm them, or you shot at their legs to stop them from, running or something like that. You shot to kill 76 times is out of anger, out of animosity. There's a lot of hate there. It might be PTSD. I don't know. But to shoot another human being 76 times, did they even have any body left over to bury after that? Like, that shit don't make sense. But they brought this lady to meet with Malaysia. Malaysia shared her story. And Malaysia showed a scene that I thought was very touching, where she's having a conversation with her son, saying, if anybody has a gun to my head, like a police officer, please do not try to defend me or protect me, because you might end up dead. And I felt so bad, because I know I have to have that same conversations with my children when I have them, because this society is not holding any of these people accountable. So the system has remained broken. I don't think in the military people can get court-martialed. The military also has a no snitching rule. But you can get court-martialed for doing certain things. You can get kicked out, dishonorably discharged, and you can go to a military prison. I don't understand why law enforcement don't have the same thing going on, where you are held to a higher standard, so you have to face higher penalties when you break those standards. During the crack epidemic, they had arrested a whole bunch of cops for confiscating crack cocaine from some of their arrestees. I think they would catch a group of guys. If one person got crack and the other 4 did not, they'll divvy it up to all the rest of them and then charge them for crack possession. And then the crack they confiscated, they'll go and find somebody to sell on the street to make money for themselves. They had a whole lot of corruption going on during that time period, and they just gave them a slap on the wrist. And that was it. So there's no legitimate penalties for doing things you're not supposed to be doing. Now, I understand that as a law enforcement officer, I can imagine what you see out there in real world. I can imagine all the crazy things you have to go through. I can imagine all the life-threatening situations that you find yourself in. And it's commendable to think that some of you will be willing to go out there and risk your lives to protect and serve. And you want to get back to your family. I get that part too. But that's not what I'm saying. Those individuals that do right by their job because you chose to pick that job as a job, that job is not supposed to have bad apples. So if you go out there and you risk your life and you get hurt, you deserve the honorable burial. And your family deserves to be taken care of because you gave yourself for a good cause. That's not the issue I'm having. The issue I'm having is for those of you who are out there joining law enforcement because you feel like you're above the law and you don't have any penalties for the bad behavior you exhibit, and you're targeting African-American communities and you're 6 times more likely to kill us as if we're not human beings. That's the problem that I have. So Malaysia had a good scene right there. Then we get to Kristen going to see Jennifer. So they have Jennifer on the show. And this is why I said Kristen is a snake. Kristen said she loves Jennifer. She wants to be around Jennifer. She's, you know, she wants to go, but she goes to talk to Jennifer, and Jennifer lets Kristen know that Jackie had a conversation with Evelyn. Evelyn had discussed with production and decided that she's going to rent a house, and she wants to have this little kumbaya moment during COVID quarantine. And Jennifer says, you know, Jackie is also getting a house because Jackie understands that OG and Jennifer can't be in the same vicinity. So she wants to get her own house so that way OG can be able to come and have their own little space. OG and Jennifer and Jackie have their own little space to not deal with some of the drama that comes with some of these girls. And Kristen goes, oh my God, last time I saw OG, she was trying to rip my entire face off. Girl, she was yelling at you. You had never been yelled at before? Bitch, shut the hell up, girl. You shut up. Then Jennifer said there are other girls throwing tables that people referring to Malaysia. There are other people jumping over tables referring to Evelyn. And Kristen tried to say something like, well, don't say bitch, because Jennifer said bitch. This is the problem I have with Kristen. You're okay talking about OG trying to rip your face off by way of using her words. But when Jennifer touches on people actually physically grabbing something, trying to throw a whole ass table at her, or trying to jump a whole table to get at her, to physically assault her, you want to hush that part up. But you don't want Jennifer to talk to you. Want to talk about the part of OG because you're going out of your way to make OG seem like she's the villain. Then Kristen makes a comment saying, I'm dark-skinned brown girl, so I don't want her to use racism as something to perpetuate a storyline. Bitch, I need you to understand something. You're the dark brown exception of the group. When Royce and Mika were on this season, they talked a lot of shit to those girls, called them ashy, tried to hit them. They made fun of Mika the most. I mean, Mika Laya collapsed. I mean, they did everything to break that girl down. It's bootleg. Then you got bootleg earrings. Got this. They make bootleg earrings like she can't afford genuine earrings. There was a lot of stuff that they said and called Royce a bum. I mean, it's crazy how far they go. Kristen, you're the brown-skinned girl that Evelyn uses as her colorism beard. You're brown. She gets along with you. In her mind, you're the exception because you're brown and you're pretty. What do I mean by that? I've been in situations where somebody tells me, you know, I'm not usually attracted to dark-skinned girls if you're pretty. I'm like, is that supposed to be a compliment or an insult? I've had people tell me, you know what? I've been attracted to black people, but oh my gosh, I've never been attracted to dark-skinned people. You know, you don't have that wide nose that they show on TV, and you're very well-spoken, and wow, you're really pretty. And I'm just thinking, wow, can I talk to you or not? I've had people tell me that verbatim because they look at me as the exception. Kristen, in this group, you're considered the exception because you're kissing their ass in every way, shape, or form. Hell, you've been licking her booty hole since you got on this show. So you sitting up here saying I'm brown and she gets along with me, I don't want her. You need to stop and stay in your lane because your personal experiences does not define other people's personal experiences, bitch. They don't. I could experience racism by this individual, and somebody else can come and say, well, I've never experienced it with this individual because they consider them their friends. That does not negate what I experienced with this individual. It's not your place to talk and tell me how I'm supposed to feel because of your experiences a bit different. Shut the fuck up and mind your business. Like you said, you were trying to get OG to mind her business last season, right? This is your time to lead by example. Mind your business. This is not for you to go and piggyback up what's going on between both of them, make it your little situation, because I don't know why your ass is here. You don't have a storyline, girl. Shut the hell up. But after Kristen is done talking to Jennifer, she goes and calls Evelyn. And the way that she presents the story and the conversation she had with Jennifer to Evelyn is in a very sneaky, very shit-starting way, very snaky way. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. Jackie got a house and some questionable people are going to be there. Bitch, you include yourself because your ass has question all over it too. I don't know why the hell you're even in this season at all. What purpose do you serve? Your ass has a big ass question mark on it. But she's saying that kind of stuff. And Evelyn, being that she's not privy to the conversation itself, is going by what Kristen is telling her. Oh, Jackie got a house. Oh, she's inviting OG. And she's invited Jennifer. You know what? I don't even want to need drama. Oh my gosh. You never want drama, Evelyn, when your ass is in the hot seat. When Evelyn first came back to the season, the franchise she started, she came back on a note saying, I've changed. I've had time to grow. I've had things going in my life. I just don't want drama anymore. And y'all remember that when Tammy was talking to Evelyn, she said, bitch, we know who you are. You the same, bitch. You ain't never changed. You haven't changed. This is who you are at your core. You're trying to give this facade that you're this nice, you know, you're this cool people and all this other stuff. You have not changed. Give us the personality that we know you are. Pretending to be somebody you're not makes it worse. I would have liked Evelyn if she started the season by saying, You know what? I went back in the last seasons I've been on the show, and I just realized, you know, I have a tendency to bully certain people. I have a tendency to attack certain people. I have a tendency to use racially specific insults when I'm mad. I didn't realize that about myself. Now that I do, I really want to see if I can become someone better. Going fake baptism and trying to say that you bought a different house and trying to carry on this fake ass lawsuit because you want people to feel sorry for you and shedding all this crocodile tears, bitch. That is the horrible way to go. That means that Tammy was right when she said previous seasons ago, bitch, you the same bitch. You ain't changed. You want sympathy every time you do something wrong. Like, shut the hell up. Like, this season, no, I'm cussing everybody out. Then we had, after that scene with Kristen, we saw OG talking to her her Kwame. Now, OG, her wigs in certain scenes are doing great, but it seems like when her wigs are good, her outfit doesn't fit. Like, she might need a stylist for clothing as well. OG is not an ugly person in my eyes, but she might need a little bit of styling. She has a good body. She has a beautiful body. So I'm thinking that, you know, she can wear certain types of clothes, but she always wears these outlandish colors and this outlandish patterns. I love her confidence, but I mean, I don't know. It's not my taste. Maybe it's for her and I love her. I love it for her, but damn. But she's in the scene. She's talking to her man and she's looking at him like he's a piece of meat while he's talking. And he's giving her advice, like, when you go to this house, make sure that you just be who you are. You know, don't get into any mess. Don't try to let yourself come out. Because we know that, you know, if you push some run buttons, you're going to get what you asked for. He's trying to tell her, calm down. Don't act, you know, don't give them what they want. You know, just say your piece and basically, you know, hold your truth and da-da-da-da-da. He's giving her great advice, basically what somebody's supposed to tell their person that they love. They also show OG with her family, her mom, her brothers, talking about how she's gonna go back to this mansion. I love that they got her mother's wig together this time and they made her mom super pop with that makeup, because the first season her mom showed up on the show, people had a lot to say about her wig and her makeup, saying, damn, do Africans wear wigs like this? Yes, Africans do wear wigs like that are dreadful and old, because it's in a poverty environment. That's all they can afford. They don't have time to go and get these $800, $1,000 weaves and wigs and pay all this money. Poverty is rampant in certain third world countries, so they make do with what they have. But this time around, OG done got herself some coins, so she made sure her mama was good on TV, and I was very happy that she considered that, because that's how I would do with my mama. Okay? So they showed this little nice scene with them, and then everybody's getting ready to go to this damn house. Phoebe is also trying to paint Jackie as if Jackie's this crazy person, because Jackie called her a nincompoop, and she's like, oh my gosh, I've never heard that before, bitch, bye. I don't know your purpose here. Frisbee, whatever you are. I don't know what your purpose is in this season. I don't know what you and Kristen's purpose here. I just felt like they were just throwing random ass bitches in this show to try and add new cast members, and your purpose don't make no damn sense to me. Your scene has already passed. You showed us that you had a boyfriend that keeps cheating on you for the past 9 years. Y'all know each other. Now y'all trying to build something together. That's all you have to offer. We're done with you. Okay? We're done with your storyline. So that was this episode. The next episode, they're going to be at this house. And apparently we're maybe going to find out what it is about Jennifer and OG that caused them to get to this bad space that they're in right now. I know that Jackie had something to say to Jennifer to gather her ass up. And I'm thinking that Jennifer and Evelyn probably found a way to make peace now that Evelyn wants OG to be by herself on an island alone with no support. And she's going to try to get everybody to be on her side, so that way they can all gang up on OG and make her feel comfortable about her piss poor ass decisions that she made with her mouth. That's what that is. Anyway, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Let me know what you think about this episode. Those of you who are not watching the show, thank you for watching me. I'm going to let you guys know how it's going. And right now it's a huge disappointment, because I feel like they're not holding anybody accountable. Shani is going to let these girls deal with the bullshit, because she's trying to make sure that she ain't part of this mess. Because if they can't fix this and they can't get the colorism situation to die, this show is going to be canceled. So she wants to be able to go to Houston and start a different franchise with new different girls and rectify it with them. Tell them to make sure they don't see any racist comments or any colorism comments in the future, because Evelyn is going to do everything she can to try to vindicate herself, including cry and lie. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye.